Yo, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to another race reaction video here. We are going to wrap up round 6 here in Glendale. 450 main just finished, and I'm actually keeping an eye on the TV here because we are going to listen to the podium interviews here. But we'll just pop right off with the 450s, and Ken Roczen gets the win. Not really a surprise, but not a surprise, all at the same time. We've seen this. We've talked about this so far this season. Like, Kenny's been riding absolutely fantastic. His results on paper have not been indicative of how well he's actually rode. So this is just something that we pretty much expected we were going to see. We did start to question a little bit here now that we've been 5 rounds and he hasn't really been in contention. But you know, this is a typical Ken Roczen race. He got a start. He ran away when he did it in that heat race. I was like, oof, if he doesn't do this tonight, it's going to be, the question marks start to get really, really big in my head. But he did. Perfect Kenny track. Very open, you had to have your timing just right. Good throttle control because it was slick and hard. And so he goes ahead and pulls off this win. Jason Anderson, another one, fast all day, ends up second place. Great ride by him. No one really had anything for Kenny, including Jett, and we'll get to him in here in just a second. But a great ride by Jason Anderson there to just get second, and Jason's just slowly just staying there. He's another one that one of these points, I think he's going to win one. I think we're going to have 6 winners. I see him winning one. Honestly, I see Webb winning one too. So if those two don't win one, like either one of them, I would be super surprised this year. Jett third. That was a great ride for Jett. He was buried off the start. For as good as he is on these dry, normal Supercross races, when I first saw after they came around the first corner and timing first came up, he was 11th. So he came from 11th all the way back to 3rd, which is a great ride. That was awesome. Tomac had a fade going on. Webb at one point had a fade going on. So lots of interesting things there. Sexton obviously riding hurt, didn't have a good night. Mookie was in the mix in the top 10, so that's a good sign there. Overall, this track was super weird, didn't seem to flow really well. As excited as I was because we had plenty of 180s and we had big long rhythm sections, didn't really work out race-wise as well as I thought it might. They should definitely look back and hold on, sorry there. Winners this season, Jett's won 2, Chase's won 1, AP won, Webb has won 1, and Kenny has. So I guess technically Webb has won 1. So I guess it's really Tomac and Anderson we're waiting on. And if neither of them win, that'll be interesting to say the least. But yeah, this is wild, and this shakes the points up too. We'll get to points here in a second in the 450 class. But yeah, there was the Star Boys were definitely struggling here. Looks like we're gonna get a podium interview, so let's listen to this. Oop.
Well, congratulations, Ken Roczen. A popular one with a crowd, no doubt. This is your 3rd win here in Glendale, which might have a little bit to do with that crowd reaction. You've had strong rides so far this season, but the results just haven't shown it. So how good does it feel now to put it together? You got the heat win and now finally...
Feels great, bike's great. Thanks for coming.
It's really hard to put in words. Like, I don't win that much anymore, you know what I mean? Like, I haven't won much in the recent years, and so I take these moments in so much, you know? And
I think he'll get another one.
again after the heat race, and, you know, I've got some solid rides here this year, but just bad luck in the first turn. It just wasn't coming together, but to finally put it here together, you know, the track was really tricky. It just got so slippery, you know? I made so many micro decisions on the track in certain areas that I picked out.
All right, great ride, Kenny. Yeah, so the Star Boys, like I said, super interesting because both Tomac and Webb kind of had fades and then came back. Sexton being hurt, you could tell. By the end of that main, he was laboring to get through. Absolutely laboring to get through the end of that main. So hopefully with a couple weeks off, they said it's just a contusion or a bone bruise, whatever you want to call it. So hopefully after a couple weeks off here, he'll come back swinging and be okay. Because I don't want to see him go out like this. But for tonight, it was a rough one. Oh, we're rewatching the start here. And Ken just sneaks up the inside here, and boom, there he goes. Justin Cooper with that really, really good. Man, that's a good jump by Cooper. He is. Watch out for Justin Cooper. He's going to come through here on one of these and get on the box for sure. Vince Freeze, everybody was tired of funneling in behind Vince Freeze, so Vince got punted by Webb, which was awesome to see. So AP, dude, I thought AP was going to have a strong ride, man, and then just minor mistake goes down and ends up, I don't even know where he ended up. I think he was in the top 10 he got back to, but not as good as what it could have been. So that's what I got reaction-wise for 450s here. We'll see. They're got to wait a few minutes here to bring up. AP made it back to 10th. Yeah, okay. Not great. Not terrible. All right, 250s here. 250s were a little bit more boring, per se. Like, overall, I wouldn't call this the most interesting race we've ever seen here. Shout out Slade Varola for hole shotting that 250 heat and the LCQ. That was freaking awesome. Kitchen looked absolutely astounding all night. I think he's literally probably the most solid guy here as far as 250s go. I really thought he was going to win that main two with that start, but wasn't meant to be. Smith absolutely did Smith things. Let's see what Jason Anderson has to say here. Got Anderson's gear. Lit kid of the weekend. I need some of that. That stuff is sick. He's very excited for second place. He left something on the table. He rode tight. Everybody's got arm pump if they don't win. If they don't win, it was arm pump, and it's their fault. Okay, and we're done with that. Okay, anyway, back to 250s here. Yeah, so Smith did Smith things, which was crash twice. Little bit of a mishap there that wasn't really his fault, but kind of his fault when him and Kitchen came together there with the lights on. But, you know, the other crash, that was just a Jordan Smith thing, to slide out in the same exact spot as he did in practice. Nate Thrasher didn't even make the night show. Rough crash. Oh, here we go. 450 standings, too. Sorry, I'm all over the place. Okay, so 450 standings. So now we're down to the top 7 are in it. Dylan's kind of getting to be mathematically eliminated in a way. He's 24 points down. But the top 5, are 11 points separating them, which is Lawrence is leading, 6 points on Sexton, 9 points on Plessinger in third, 10 points on Webb in fourth, and 11 points on Anderson in fifth. So top 5 are close there. Anyway, sorry, that's it. We're done jumping back and forth here. So now jumping back to 450s, or I'm sorry, jumping back to 250s there. Man, Thrasher, I hope he's okay. I think he'll be fine, but this is just, this is typical Nate Thrasher. And I was texting back and forth with Justin, like, he does something like this, then he comes back in like 5 weeks when the series restarts again, and he wins, and then he'll do something like this the next week. Like, it's such a strange. He's RJ or Jordan Smith, like version 2.0 is what's happening there. I do think this title is Kitchen's basically to lose. God, he looked solid all day today. I know he went down in practice. It was kind of a stupid, like, just push the front in the first corner thing. So, whatever. Shimoda is just absolutely. I couldn't even tell you what's going on. He got on the podium barely. And yeah, I mean, outside of that, RJ wins, which is cool. But RJ's going to do RJ things too. So I don't know. I was having this. I had this thought earlier of like, I don't really know who should win this as far as these guys go. I guess it probably should be RJ, just because I think he's the most ready to go in the 450 class. But outside of that, the rest of these guys kind of scare me if they win, because they got one chance to defend and then they're out, and none of them really have resumes to move to 450s in my opinion. So I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, this wasn't the most interesting night of racing that we've ever seen. Hopefully everybody who went down is okay, because we don't want to see anybody get hurt. crashes obviously are fine as long as everybody walks away from it. But yeah, so now we got an off week here, and hopefully we come back with a track that races a little better than these last two. This one, like I said, I had high hopes for Glendale, but it just didn't race quite as good as I thought it would. So, comment down below what you guys thought of the race tonight. Sorry, I don't have a whole lot more to go on here, but like I said, it was kind of uneventful. It was kind of one line. There wasn't really much to do. There was a couple options through the rhythm, but it wasn't like one was faster than the other, so it really didn't do anything. And all in all, just kind of a meh. It was a Supercross race, so we will be back in a couple of weeks here with the Arlington round. So thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see you next time.